The weight of the world. Liam had always been the strong one. A construction worker by trade, his hands were calloused, his muscles honed from years of lifting steel beams and hauling bricks. He prided himself on being the one his team called Rey Leon, the one who never backed down from a heavy load. But over the years, something began to change. It started with a Dulachet in his lower back after long shifts. At first, he shrugged it off, just part of the job, he told himself. But Hepine became sharper, shooting down his legs like bolts of lightning whenever he bent to pick something up. At night, he lay awake, unable to find a position that didn't make him feel like his spine was caught in a vice. Eventually, his wife, Sarah, forced him to see a doctor. The MRI results were clear. Liam had a herniated disc in his lumbar spine, the jelly-like center of one of his intervertebral discs bulging out and pressing against the sciatic nerve. The doctor explained the mechanics in detail, how years of heavy lifting, poor posture, and untreated strain had worn down the cushioning between his vertebrae. "You've been carrying too much for too long," the doctor's aide, his voice kind but firm. "Your body's trying to tell you's had enough." Liam felt a surge of frustration. He was only 42. How could his body betray him like this? The doctor outlined his options: physical therapy, medication, and lifestyle changes. Surgery was an option if things got worse, but it wasn't a magic fix. Liam hated the idea of slowing down, but Sarah Sorideus convinced him to try. Physical therapy was humbling. His therapist, a patient woman named Ellen, started him in simple exercises, pelvic tilts, bridges, stretches to loosen his hamstrings and strengthen high score. Liam struggled with the smallest movements, his pride stung by the thought that the man who had once carried concrete slabs now had trouble lifting his own leg. "This isn't weakness," Ellen reminded him one day, noticing his scowl. "This is healing. You've spent decades abusing your spine. It is going to take a time to build it." As the weeks turned into months, Liam began to notice small changes. The pain that once stabbed at him like a knife dulled to an ache. He could bend to tie his boots without grimacing. Ellen introduced more challenging exercises, teaching him how to engage high score before lifting and how to maintain proper posture on the job. Liam also made changes at work. He started using mechanical lifts for heavy loads and learned to bend at his knees rather than his waist. His coworkers teased him at first, calling him "Old Man Liam," but he didn't care. For the first time in years, he felt like he was taking control of his body rather than letting it control him. But Helling wasn't liner. On a rainy day, while helping a friend move furniture, Liam felt a sharp, familiar pain as he lifted a couch the wrong way. He froze, panic rising in his chest. Had he undone all his progress? Back at home, Sarah found him sitting on the couch, his face pale. "It's back," he said quietly. Shek knelt beside him, placing a hand on his knee. "Maybe," she said, "but you know what to do now. You've come so far, Liam. Don't let his set you back." Her words stayed with him. Instead of spiraling into despair, he rested, eyed his back, and returned to his exercises. To his relief, the pain eased within days. Ellen assured him that setbacks were normal and didn't interrupt the progression made. Years later, Liam stood in his backyard, watching his grown-on, Tommy, run across the lawn. His back still itched sometimes, it always would, but it no longer defined him. He had learned to respect his limits, to ostend his body, and to care for the spine that had carried him through so much. As Tommy ran up to him, holding a toy airplane high, Liam crouched carefully to meet them. "Grandpa, let's fly," the boy exclaimed, jumping into his arms. Liam lifted him, not with the reckless strength of his youth, but with the deliberate care he had learned through pain and perseverance. And as he held his grown-on high, he realized something. Even with all the weight he had carried in his life, the most important thing was knowing when to let go.